Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Tank Assault. And today's video I'm going to give you a quick update on my algae reactor you can see there on the left hand side, and I also want to talk about what I feel is the forgotten filter in the reefing hobby. Now, to start off with, as you can see, we're not connected yet, we're not live. I have received my lights, so they're grow light spectrum, so it's the purple and the blues. I think it's 4:1 ratio of LEDs, and they're all set up. I just wrapped it around with a cable tie to hold it in place at the top and down at the bottom. As you can see, my dog's investigating there. But the problem I'm having at the minute, well, not so much a problem, is, as you can see, this here is covered in dried glue. Now the reason for that is because I have a smaller piece of, I'll start from the beginning. The pipe I've got, the spare pipe, is the same type of pipe as that, but obviously a bit longer to get up to there. And the idea is that this will sit behind here, so that it's not taking up any room. But that pipe does not fit onto this tube here. So I've got a smaller piece of pipe upstairs that I was going to place inside here, and then use PVC cement to lock it in place. Then this pipe here, or the bigger version of this pipe, will go onto the end of the smaller pipe, clamp it in place, job's a good one, goes down there, through everything it needs to, overflows back into the tank. But the PVC cement I've got is out of date, so that's why it's on there, but there's no pipe, it doesn't seem to seal properly. So this weekend I'll pop down to the local DIY shop and I'll pick some of that up. Tank still looking very good. As you can see, everything's a bit closed up at the minute because I've just fed the corals and the fish, but they look very good. They're all closed up as well. New addition to the tank is this orange sponge over here. The other half wanted something very nice and colourful. She wanted a bit more colour in the tank, so she picked this out. So he's settled in very well. Not sure if I'm going to keep him where he is, but at the minute he's doing fine down there. And you see refugium, still with the basic light, still saving up the pennies to replace this with a proper grow light. Everything still growing very well, other than the chaeto, which I explained before, won't be staying in there much longer. Now, to speak about what I feel is the forgotten filter, we need to take a step away from the reactor and the display refugium and the tank, and we need to go down here, down into my sump. Now down here is a mess, admittedly. One second, I think I have a torch. Yep. So this will help. So down here, as you can see, is bits and bobs. There's some food, some cow fosser, my box for my magnet scraping, a big pipette that I use to clean out the sump and my overflow. And I'll shove it down there and I can blow any bits that settle down there. But inside my sump I have a skimmer. That's not the forgotten bit of equipment. This thing here, this reactor here, is what I feel is the forgotten piece of equipment. As you can see, it's dirty, it's got salt creep all over it, so it does need a clean. But it's what's inside there. As you can see, just there, you can see it all flowing around. And all that is sand. So inside this reactor, it's full of sand. Sorry guys for the not very good view. I should have probably cleaned out my sump a bit so you could see. But there you go. Now, why sand? What does that do? Well, everybody knows in a reef tank, beneficial bacteria is your friend. We all want beneficial bacteria. That's why we use live rock. That's why we have marine pure blocks. Beneficial bacteria is good. The more of it you can populate, the better, is what we know. But what we don't think about is beneficial bacteria is not just on live rock and marine pure, it's on everything. So the sand, it's on the glass, it's on the overflow, it's on the pipes, it's everywhere. Every piece, every inch of surface area is covered with beneficial bacteria. Same for the sun. But sand itself has a massive surface area, okay? if you put the amount of sand in there compared to rock, you've got a lot less sand. I don't think that made any sense actually. The same amount of sand and the same amount of rock, the sand is going to have a lot more surface area, if you understand what I mean. I'm not sure if that's coming across in the right way, but yeah, the idea is the sand has a lot more surface area for the beneficial bacteria to grow on. Now obviously a lot of us have sand in the bottom of our tanks, so you're probably asking yourself, well, why do you need more? But the idea of putting it in a reactor, the water's forced down. Let's use this reactor for an example over here. So let's say this is filled with sand, okay? This is actually a biopellet reactor, in case you were wondering. But let's say it's filled with sand. The water comes down the tube, hits the bottom, and it's forced up. As it's forced up, the sand particles are bouncing together, they're hitting each other, they're bouncing off each other, and the action of the there she is, look, on camera, smile. The action of the sand hitting each other actually causes the older beneficial bacteria to be knocked off, and it allows newer beneficial bacteria to grow. So in effect, you're only keeping in that reactor the strongest, the best of the beneficial bacteria. And what happens is, the more sand you have in there, obviously the more beneficial bacteria you can house in there, but that younger beneficial bacteria does a lot better job for you than the older stuff. So the older stuff gets banged off, the newer stuff has then got a space to hang on, and that's then what's filtering your water. And obviously we talk about filtering, it's not removing anything, but it's cleaning your water, it's helping remove your nitrates, it's helping keep everything in check, nice and clean. So that is what a sand reactor does. And it doesn't work in the same way. Obviously if you're using a biopellet reactor, that works in a similar way, but they use the biopellets as like a food source, and then your skimmer removes what it needs to remove from there. Whereas a sand reactor, it's kind of like a live rock. The bacteria that's helping out. Obviously you've got your different types of beneficial bacteria. You've got the my mind's lost me. You've got the aerobic and anaerobic bacteria. Now aerobic likes air, so obviously it needs oxygen to survive, so you're going to get a lot of that oxygen in that sand filter because it's being pumped around, everything's being turned. And anaerobic doesn't like oxygen, it needs no oxygen to survive, or very, very little oxygen, which is what you get from your deep sand beds. And if you see in this it's not very fast flowing water, so over here is quite a stagnant area. So I'm hoping that's what I'm creating over in this area here. It's like a anaerobic bacteria underneath all these rock and shade. I don't know if you can see down there properly, but I'm hoping that's what I'm creating down in this corner. I mean, it might not be, but I'm hoping for it. So if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me, please drop me a question in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe button to let me know that you're enjoying this content. And if there's anything you'd like me to make a video on, let me know and I'll get on that for you. So from me and my dog, thank you very much, and see you next time. Happy reefing.